Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for Wednesday, January 5th, 2020. All right, so today we have the moon shifting from grounded Taurus into practical Gemini, going over the arm of Orion. So in this case, the first part of the day is still really good for cultivating our resourcefulness, both our inner and outer resources. But going into tomorrow, definitely good for getting into more of the practical elements of life, like learning, curiosity, communication, flexibility, these types of air energy with the moon in Gemini. So with this, we are approaching a full moon at the weekend, so the energies are starting to build some momentum and will likely gain some awareness as we get to that. And today, Mercury sextiling up to Uranus still, so maybe a good day for thinking outside the norm, maybe doing things outside of our comfort zone, and maybe some fresh new communications or ideas that could be coming into the mix. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when I return. All right, so here's the sky for this Wednesday. And again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called true sidereal astrology. This does change the signs from mainstream astrology, so you will notice that the signs are different. And so if you are new, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's take a look at the moon's placement for the day, which represents the theme, shifting from resourceful Taurus into practical, flexible, and communicative Gemini. So the first part of the day, especially if you're in the east, you'll feel this for most of the day. And this is still centered, as it has been the past couple days, around cultivating our inner and outer resources. So great time of cultivating our self-reliance, self-value, our inner strength, and externally connecting to things like maybe nature, a good meal, the sensual life, gratitude. All right, the external resource is still good to develop. But as the day unfolds, and especially tomorrow though, the moon will be shifting into Gemini, which deals with more of the practical elements of life. Good to use our minds. Great for learning, studying, reading, and also communicating, such as through maybe writing or any form of communication. And also really good for just exchanging with others, being flexible and learning, getting into some of that adaptive air type of energy with Gemini. And so both of these constellations here do deal with the more physical elements of life, and that's what Orion symbolizes. So the moon will be passing over the arm of Orion, which is good to see how we can implement things into the physical world at this time, using both, again, our inner resources and our practical minds. And to put it into context, it helps to look at it with the polarity to Orion, which is Ophiuchus. We talk a lot about Ophiuchus on the channel, and this deals with healing and transformation, which will likely get activated with the moon opposite Mars today. But in this case, how can we balance the deeper aspects of life, healing, transformation, psychology, spirituality, while at the same time cultivate the more physical aspects, in the physical world, again, with that resourcefulness and practicality, which Orion symbolizes. All right, so that's the placement. And I do want to mention that we are approaching a full moon, which will be Saturday, Sunday here towards the weekend. So we are entering into what is the gibbous phase, where we're starting to build some momentum in the lunar month. And so we have a bit of wind in our sails as we approach the weekend now. And if there are any new things that have shifted into your life from about a week and a half ago since the last new moon, it is good to continue to develop. And again, we could notice some momentum with some of these things, and some of these things could be coming to a cultivating point once we do arrive at the full moon this weekend. All right, and the larger context is, of course, that around Capricorn, the sun here, bigger picture stuff. Good to see what takes time. Focus on things in the sense of what requires discipline, patience, persistence, responsibility, right? And this is a great way of working with the energy in a monthly sense. So today with the aspects, we do have Mercury still sextiling up to Uranus, nothing major, but a bit of an opening for mixing some things up with mind and communication, kind of like that Gemini energy. But in this case, maybe some new ideas. Uranus is the innovator. It's very visionary. It also challenges the status quo and our own status quo. So good to get outside our comfort zone a little bit, maybe with some new ideas, think outside the box. When it comes to communication, maybe experimenting with some things there, or again, reading, writing, learning some new things. And all in all, just being open to new experiences and maybe mixing up that routine a little bit could be very supportive here today. Sometimes with this, we can gain some new insights, some new ideas, maybe some information or communication comes our way that could be a bit freeing or again, unusual or different, that could be supportive along the life journey. All right, so with that, that's the major aspect going on today. Again, we are going to have that moon opposite Mars, who's in healing Ophiuchus, and Mars has been squaring up to Venus earlier since last week. So in that sense, it is still good to bring some extra attention to how we can relate with others in a way that's grounded, where we're asserting our needs and expressing ourselves, but at the same time being tactful and receptive and connecting, which is Venus. Good to bring some extra attention to those interpersonal aspects of life. And the moon will be in synergy to that Mercury sextile Uranus, again bringing in a bit of that unorthodox or different or unique kind of energy with our minds and communication. All right, everyone, so that's the day in a nutshell. Most important thing here is that we do have this full moon in the weekly sense that we're approaching, the gibbous phase, building some momentum. The first part of the day, really good for that cultivation of our resourcefulness, and going into tomorrow, but into that practical energy of Gemini, learning, curiosity, inquisitiveness, flexibility as the day unfolds. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next daily forecast. Take care.